My Neighbor Totoro. Never has there been a Japanese or even a foreign animated film that had such a major cultural impact as much as My Neighbor Totoro. Not only did Studio Ghibli make the big guy and his friends their official mascots and even getting a cameo in Toy Story 3, but many people even call this one of the greatest animated films of all times for its lighthearted nature. You can't really say that about a lot of animated movies outside of the US. But does it truly deserve that title of being one of the greatest? Or is this bunny just overhyped? Let's find out. The story. The story of the movie is about two girls moving to their new home with their dad, and here's the biggest problem of the movie. There's no plot. It's just a family moving into a new house and just living their lives right afterwards. There's no antagonist, no conflict, no obstacles, no problems to fix, not even a goal they have to achieve. We just look at two little girls settling in their new home and meeting their new neighbors. It just makes me sit there and shout out, "Do something!" Of course, there are times when Satsuki and Mei come across the spirit world with Totoro and his gang, and it does make the movie interesting because it's something, but they don't appear as much as you'd expect, and when they do, they only appear for like 3 minutes and then poof. Heck, they don't even appear until 30 minutes into the film. Now, don't get me wrong though, by the third act, they did put in a plot where Mommy's sick and has to stay at the hospital for a little longer, and Mei ran away from home and Satsuki had to go find her. It's a simple plot, but it doesn't make up for that hour of nothing. Also, we don't know if she's in critical condition or she only has a headache. Seriously, who was Miyazaki writing this for without basic details to a plot? Freaking children? I mean... Wait a minute. Oh my god, it is. This is all in the point of view of the two little girls. Yeah, usually they just live life in a point of view that's more whimsical and can make anything into an adventure with their imagination. Also, just the knowledge of someone they love like Mommy being sick is enough for them to worry and expect the worst. It goes absolutely nowhere as a movie, but I do get what they're trying to do. The animation. If there's anything that's not childish about this movie, it's how they handled the animation. The people at Studio Ghibli had successfully captured the more familiar feeling of home by not really filling up the screen with many different colors or images, but just a simple house surrounded by trees in the middle of the countryside. It gives out a more calm and quiet feeling, like looking upon a landscape painting of an old house. And I don't think there can be any other character design that can fit perfectly for this. It's simple, but not afraid to go into detail, and helps keep the movie's more whimsical and upbeat tone. Another element that gives out that calm feeling is that it uses more bright and cool colors throughout the movie, and not once does it use any high saturations or colors that pop out from the rest. The only downside I could say about it is that the movie doesn't really take a lot of risks. What I mean is that it's not as fully imaginative as the other Ghibli films, even the ones before this, so there's not a lot of creative designs or new worlds to explore, even when Totoro's around. The magic happens on what they do more than what you see. I don't know if there's anything else to add for the animation. It's very simple, but for a movie like this, that's how it should be. The characters. When it comes to a mind of a child, they don't really think a lot about the people around them, do they? Almost every character in here doesn't really have a lot of characteristics in them. We don't look at them as often, thus creating one-dimensional characters that we don't really know a lot about, like the caring dad, the sick mom, the nice old lady that lives next door, and the boy who obviously has a crush on Satsuki but tries to hide it. When it comes to the spirits like Totoro and the suit sprites, They did a pretty good job establishing who they are and their background, and would always bring that joy and wonder the film is notorious for every time they're on screen. But then we have our main characters, Satsuki and Mei, the ones we follow throughout the film and whose point of view that we as an audience look out from. And I have to
Whoa, foot! Fudge, nab. They get annoying real fast.
During the whole thing, all they do is run around and shout for no reason. They make the first hour of nothing in the movie feel insufferable, like sitting on a bus with a crying baby next to you. I have no sympathy nor do I care for any of them, and by the third act when there's an actual plot, I feel like Grumpy Cat towards them. Aw, your mommy's sick and May ran away from home and she might be lost? Good! What's worse is that they're the central core of the movie. If you can't like or tolerate these girls, then it'll be hard to really appreciate the rest of the movie. I wonder if I sounded like a big douche just for putting so much hate on two little girls. Nah. My Neighbor Totoro just doesn't work as a movie. Although the animation is calm and nice, it barely offers us anything. Nothing happens throughout the movie, and when something does resemble a plot, it's just too simple and what they give us is very vague. Plus the fact that we don't know much about the characters except for these annoying twerps. But during the making of this review, I realized that maybe it's not supposed to function like a movie as we define it. Maybe Miyazaki wanted to make some sort of escapism to bring us back to a simpler time in our childhood, where we have no worries and we look at everything around us with wonder and curiosity. A time when you would believe in anything and there's always a bit of magic to anywhere you go. In that perspective, this could be the greatest children's film ever made, because it speaks directly towards them. For those who are older though, I'd say it's a recommendation to those who love a more light-hearted anime. For anyone else who's coming in and expect an actual movie, this is not for you! I'll be fair to this film and I'll give it 2 ratings. One for how it is as a movie, and another for how it is for children. Because when it comes down to it, it's something more for them than for someone like me.
Hey guys, this is AniMat's. I hope you enjoyed the first ever AniMat's classic reviews, but now it's time to see what's going to be our next animated film through the animation hat. And by the way, if you have an animated movie you wish to suggest that I would put in the hat, then write it down at animatsreviews@gmail.com and I'll write it down right away and put it in this. But first, let's check out what's going to be the next review. So, alright, come on, get it, oh, there we go, okay, we got one! Okay, so the next review shall be oh my god, it has been a long time since I've seen this, but alright. Maybe this will spring up some nostalgia, I don't know. But, let's see what happens.